Sure.
Okay. So I would like to know how your life was growing up.
Um, Growing up, I was the only child until I was 13. Um, I was spoiled. I was a brat. I had a good childhood. You know, anything I wanted, I always got. Like I said, until I got my little sister from my
Yeah.
mother,
Yeah, and then she took over.
and she took over. And she had did everything.
Yeah. Okay. What's the story to how you ended up on the wheelchair, and how old were you?
Um, I was 28. I got shot in 2005, and it was over a dice game. Um, we was playing dice or whatever, and this guy came back down, who was eventually my cousin, and he came back down with some dice or whatever, and he threw my dice away that we was playing with, not realizing that his dice was all the same color. I didn't pay it no mind, but he kept winning every hand or whatever. So it was like he had some bogus dice or whatever, and that pretty much started the argument. And from the argument, it went from gun violence because he didn't want to fight me, and at that point in time, I had a reputation in my projects, so it was like, you got to do something to me before I do something to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old were you when you started doing crimes? When you got into the street life, how old were you?
I think I really got into the streets when I was 15.
So young.
I was running the streets like since I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
But when I really got into the streets, I was like 15. That's when we really started getting into like territorial wars and gang wars and shootouts here, and you go to this party and they shooting at you. Yeah.
Okay, and after doing your crimes, would you feel guilt? Would you like regret what you've just done?
No.
How come?
I was young. I didn't
Yeah.
care. All I wanted was the money.
Oh, okay.
And at that time, it was like I wasn't robbing nobody black. I wasn't robbing old ladies and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, I would go out there and rob people that I knew had money. You know, in the beginning, I was go and rob old white men and stuff like that, or Mexicans. I never robbed no females. You know.
Yeah.
But then eventually, as I got older, I started robbing drug dealers. That was easier than me going out and robbing this person and that person. I could just go and rob this drug dealer and rob that drug dealer
Yeah.
and get more money, or maybe even the same amount.
And while doing these crimes, living on the street, were you also living at home, or were you living with your friends, or what?
I lived different places. At one point in time, I would live with my mother, and then sometimes she would kick me out. I might go stay with my grandmother. If not, I'm staying with this girl, or I'm staying with that friend. I always had someplace different to stay.
And that's how you survived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I never slept on the streets. I always
Had
some place to
someplace,
rest
yeah.
my head. Yeah,
Okay. And growing up, you had guns, right?
yeah.
Of your own. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about guns today?
I mean,
Do you still support guns? Do you?
nah,
No.
nah.
But you did back then, huh?
I mean, because I was into the streets, and when you went to the streets, you have no cares about what you doing or what the outcome may be. But now, being that I've been in this chair 13 years or whatever, and this is it for me. You know,
Yeah.
there's no, see, like after the first time I got shot, you know, I bounced back from that.
Yeah.
But there's no bouncing back from this one.
Exactly.
So,
Okay. And when you hear of someone that's close to you, someone that you love, owns or has a gun, how do you feel? Or what crosses your mind?
truthfully, I haven't had anybody around me that is close to me have or mention that they have any guns. But I know that I have friends that do have guns because they enter the streets. You know, most of my friends are still drug dealers, and they're going to carry guns, regardless of what happened to me, regardless of how many people they might have lost in their lives because of gun violence. They're going to look at it the same way.
Yeah.
You know, but my outcome of it now is, it's completely different. You know, I wish I didn't have to go through this.
Of course.
And I didn't have to experience this. And nobody should have to deal with the pain or whatever of losing somebody to gun violence.
Yeah.
Or even have to deal with a situation like that I'm in. You know, for the last 13 years, it's been real hard for me trying to get people, just asking somebody to do something for me because I'm so used to being independent.
Yeah.
You know, so now I gotta ask somebody to wipe my face, wait for somebody to feed me, stuff like that, and I don't like that.
Of course. Yeah, but.
The first time I got shot was in 1995, I think. I was 15. I was going to the store for my little sister. My mother sent me to the store, to the Chinese restaurant, and I didn't want to go. And when I was going to the store, I seen two of my friends having a fight with somebody. They was jumping this kid, and they wasn't doing too good.
Your friends?
Yeah, they was fighting with some kids or whatever. So I ended up jumping in or whatever. And as I'm jumping in and I'm beating one of the kids up or whatever, somebody was trying to shoot supposedly one of my other friends, but I ended up getting shot.
Wow.
So I got shot in my chest. I was, like I said, I was 15. It messed me up real bad because it gave me a, I don't know if you wouldn't know what a colostomy bag is, but that's a bag where they take your intestines and detach it from, you know, like your ass or whatever, for you to shit through a bag.
Okay.
So I had to use that for like 8 months.
Wow.
You know, and that was like the worst pain, worst experience I ever been through. Cause I even went to jail like that.
Really?
Yeah, I was still doing crimes.
Yeah.
So with a shit bag, you know, with a colostomy bag, I was still out there doing robberies and living the street life. And I went to jail for one day for a robbery. And when I got to Rikers Island, they didn't have none of the utensils and the equipment that I needed to change my colostomy bag. So I would have to like stay with the same bag that I had, but I would have to take it off and change it and wash it and stuff.
Yeah.
And then eventually I had to get something else like to take it off.
Yeah.
And like I said, they didn't have the full utensils that I needed, so that was like the roughest time that I went through.
At the age of 15. So young.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second time you got shot?
2005. I got
Which
shot
one?
in my neck. That's the one that paralyzed me.
Yeah. How was that? How did that happen?
Like I said, it started over that same dice game.
Okay.
You know, I was arguing with the guy or whatever, and I have a bad reputation in my projects. And
All
so
right. Yeah.
second time I got shot, it was in 2005, and like I said, it was over the dice game, and the kid, he didn't want to fight me because I guess he pretty much knew I was gonna fuck him up, and he knew he had a better chance with the gun than he did with his hands. But now when he shot me, my second oldest son was with me, and he shot me in front of my son. Not directly in front of me, but he was in.
Your son saw what happened.
Yeah, he saw exactly what happened.
Wow. I can't even imagine how that was.
Yeah.
You know, I have a son of my own, so no, that's crazy.
Yeah, it bothered him for like maybe like 3 years, 4 years. So.
How old was your son at that time?
13.
13.
He's 25 now.
Yeah. Okay. And how much of your life has changed since you got on the wheelchair?
A whole lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot. I lost a lot of friends that I thought was friends.
Yeah.
That would be there for me. Things is different.
So social life has changed since you got into this situation.
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, 'cause I still have certain friends that I keep in contact with or keep in contact with me. But the main people that I thought would be there or whatever is not the people that's in my background.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, it's health-wise, it's been real different because it's always something different dealing with this situation. You know, you get infections, you get bed sores. Never know when you got a sore, when you sick or whatever. So it's different phases that you go through like this, and then you gotta learn how to just basically live like this so that you be okay. You know, you gotta train yourself to realize that you're not in the streets no more and walking.
Yeah. How old were you when you finally accepted that?
I was in a wheelchair.
Wow. Okay.
Like I said, I got shot when I was 28. I'm 41 now. Probably when I was 34.
That's when you realized that, okay.
And that's when I started accepting it.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it. I can't do nothing. This is my life. You know, I wish that, on God, I wish that I can get out this chair. You know, I wish that I can get out to play with my kids, to go, you know, 'cause they play basketball. So I be wanting to get on the basketball court with them and play with them, or get on my son's video game and play with him and stuff like that. But, you know, it's just, I guess it's not meant for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Just be thankful you're alive, right?
Yeah.
Just be thankful.
'Cause laying on that, I mean, trust me, that night when I laid on that floor, and I thought he shot me in my head. From where we was sitting at, he could have shot me in my head. He tried to, but see, I had my head turned like this, and somebody had got my attention to look this way. And as I turned my head, he put the gun like behind my ear, but to my head. So when I turned my head back this way and tried to smack it away, the gun went off and went through my neck. You know. Well, I was paralyzed instantly. You know. if that wouldn't have happened to me that night, like, I don't know where I would be at right now. Especially being in the streets the way I was.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe somebody down the line would have killed me. Who knows, maybe I would have killed somebody.
Exactly.
I know I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be talking to me.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and now you're in a rehab center. But before entering here, how was your life like? As you know.
I mean, before I got in here, my life was the drug dealer life. You know, I got up every day. I made sure my kids was okay. I took them to school. I made sure their mother got to work or whatever, and after that, I start my day. I go outside, I sell as much drugs as I can, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, I've had, I think maybe no more than 3 jobs my whole life.
Yeah.
And for the amount of money that I got paid to work for a week, I could make that in a couple of hours. So I used to love drug dealing. The fast money. You know?
Yeah.
Fast money, it bought girls, got me things that I wanted. So I loved it.
Yeah. So do you think it was the bad company that you had that got you to live the life you lived? Is it the bad company? Is it what?
Nah, it wasn't the bad company to live the life that I lived. I think it was just a struggle of me wanting to survive. You know, because like I said, where I live at, you can't be soft. Because you'll get walked on. You get picked on, you get things taken from you. So after the first time I got jumped or whatever, and I swore that wouldn't happen to me no more. But I don't know.
Okay. You have children, right? What's your biggest fear when it comes to your children?
Losing my kids.
Okay, through the same way you know, you got paralyzed, gun violence,
Yeah.
and okay.
Well, that's my biggest fear is to hear that one of my kids got shot, especially one of my sons. You know.
Okay, so you've always had love for drawing. Who and what inspired you?
My uncle.
Really? Tell me about that.
Growing up, I have 2 uncles on my mother's side, and one was in the drawing. One was really like he was a hard worker. I mean, both of them was working, but one liked to choose to draw and play basketball. I didn't want to play basketball. I wasn't an athletic kid growing up. So I chose to draw. Watching him draw Sunday comics, I used to sit there and mimic him and do the same thing, get some paper, get a Sunday comic or whatever, and I sit there and try to draw. And then when I seen that I was doing good, and my mother and them would always congratulate me, like, oh, you doing good, it looks nice. I kept pursuing it, you know, and that was my quiet time. You know, whenever I wanted to be at peace or get a peace of mind or whatever, I sat there and I drew it, and it became not only like a habit, like just a hobby.
Almost a meditation thing for you.
Yeah. To where everywhere I went, I was drawing. I could be outside hustling and just get a piece of paper and start drawing on that.
Yeah.
I go to my friend's house and they would make me draw on the walls, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're paralyzed below the neck, meaning you can't use your hands like how you used to or how you want to. So how do you do your art?
I take my pen right here, and
Yeah.
do whatever I do.
Yeah.
I got a touchscreen pen,
Yeah.
and I take the pictures or whatever and get on here, and I go through different apps,
Yeah.
and I manipulate the pictures the best way I feel that it comes out.
Uh-huh.
All this is my work right here.
Yeah.
Whatever pictures is up here,
It's your work.
Yeah, I manipulated and done.
That's amazing. That's a great talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to the point to where people even ask me to do pictures for them, and they kind, I get paid for it or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, I've done a couple of pictures for people. Like they want to give people gifts and stuff like that. Yeah.
And how long did it take you since you got paralyzed, for you to get used to using this pen, or to use it, to do art with your mouth?
Not long.
Not long.
No. Because like I'm already good with drawing and stuff like that. So once I start playing around with something and get used to it, then I'll be all right. So it don't take that long.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's great work that you do. It's amazing. And how do you use your experiences now?
Right now, I use my experience just by basically trying to show my artwork to everybody. And as far as when we go out to, being a member of Open Doors, we go out and we talk to different kids and stuff like that. So I try to teach, what I can from my past experience and what I've been through. So that way other people or kids can, maybe somebody can relate to me, or maybe they could take what I'm saying and, it could help them not go through what I went through or what any of us went through. So.
Okay, yeah. As you mentioned, you're a member of Open Doors. Tell me about that and what you guys do for the community, and what kind of events do you guys hold?
Like I said, I'm a member of Open Doors. We are reality poets, but at the same time, each one of us has a different talent. You got Tito, he does rap. Vince does music. Jay does film. I do art. Together, we write poems and we go out to schools or whatever events that they give to us that we can go out and teach or talk to young kids and try to tell them about our experiences, about things we've been through, how we got in the wheelchair, the things we go through, being in the wheelchair, stuff like that. Open Doors mainly is just trying to teach people about gun violence, and hopefully we can get our word out there and, like I said, help somebody.
Okay. Any new projects that you guys are working on alone or with your group?
Like I said, lately I've had a couple of portraits that I had to finish. Somebody had wanted a couple of portraits done that they want to do, give their family for Christmas. So I've been doing that. With the death of our past, members that died, so Luke and Samuel, we have a memorial thing coming up for them. Right now, I think that's just really it.
Okay. You have big dreams. What's one of them?
To walk again.
Yeah, of course.
To walk again.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I dream about right now. To walk again, to be able. I don't mind being paralyzed or in a wheelchair. I want to use my arms. I want to be able to touch.
Yeah.
I want to be able to hold and grab myself. To be able to put a spoon to my mouth, wash my face, myself. That's what I want.
Okay. So what's your advice for men who are of your race when it comes to guns and drugs and with Trump in the house?
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. You know, especially if you're not really into the streets like that. You know, the things that come along with it, jail, death. Most people, if you're lucky, you end up in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know, so I just hope they know what they're doing. Because, like I said, you know, it's in the long, it don't last. It's not gonna last for long. You know?
Okay. And what would you do different if you had to go back to the past and change your life? Anything?
I'd have shot him first.
Yeah, before he shot you, huh?
Yeah. I'd rather be in jail right now.
Yeah.
I swear to God. I'd rather be in jail. Because at least that way, I know I got a chance to come home again. And I'll still be walking.
Yeah.
I'll still get a chance to experience and enjoy things with my kids that I can't do now. You know, it's days that I can't even get inside their school to go to a parents teachers event. You know, so I'm limited to what I can do with my kids.
Yeah. Okay. And this mural behind you here, what is it about? What does it mean to you?
Dope art.
All right.
It's my work. So, of course, I like it. You know, it's just representing us.
Yeah.
And basically, like I said, at the bottom it tells you, you know, what's the outcome.
With the gun?
With the gun, it could equal, you know, death or in jail or it's a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But this is dope.
Yeah. It's nice. It's cool.
I like the way that it turned out. When it first started, I wasn't really too fond of it, but
why?
It was just plain.
Well, it needed work, right?
Yeah.
Now it's finished.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks cool. Okay, LeVar, thank you so very much for your time.
No problem.
Thank you. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what's your story and how you ended up on the wheelchair?
Well, my story's kind of, you know what I mean, like the average Brooklyn dude story, you know what I mean? I lived in a rough neighborhood, you know what I mean? Came out, I came early to the country, you know, real young. And, you know, I didn't speak much English. I was in elementary school, you know, and I used to get bullied a lot because I didn't know how to, you know, how they speak English. And, you know, little by little, you know, I peeped the swag, so you know, I like the style, you know what I mean? I started adopting to the Brooklyn style butcher, that's where I'm from. And, you know, I grew up, like my father, my father was a musician, so he was flying all over the world, so I was always in my aunt's house. And my aunt, she was married with you know, to my uncle, and he was like you know, like a dog dude, like a definition of a gangster, like a real gangster. And my aunt, you know, they were like together. I see mad stuff in the crib, you know what I mean? I seen guns, I seen weed, I seen all type of stuff. You know what I mean? And he was like, when you grow up, when you're small, what you see, that's what, you know what I mean? That's what becomes of you sometimes, you know what I mean? So you gotta be careful what you expose kids to.
Yeah.
But anyway, I seen all that, you know what I mean? But little by little in my neighborhood, you know, I'm doing good though. I'm in school, my father teaching me percussion. Then I go to a different type of school, I start playing the bass. So my dad wanted me to play the bass, not my choice, but I was doing it too, please him, you know what I mean? And that worked out for a little while. I was in New York City Borough White Orchestra, the City White Orchestra. I played for the mayor in Albany. I was nice with the bass, you know what I mean? Because I seem to master whatever I put my mind into, I used to do, you know. I'm very musically inclined. I come from lines of musicians, a lot of my uncle musicians. But New York, it's not about music, you know what I mean? You gotta be a thug, you gotta be a gangster, you know what I mean? You know, so, you know, they just, I mean, you know, started out, I had a little crew, you know, we was growing up in the hood, everything was gravy. And, you know, things just started happening. They killed my cousin, they just turned everything around. Everything was fun game before. There were fights here, there were fights there. But now, shooting is starting to get involved, you know what I mean? I got, you know, first was my knife game. My knife game was ridiculous. You know, then, you know, they got introduced to the gun, and, you know, I got to pass on to Prado, but it happened, you know what I mean? I got caught up. I had war with these dudes for a long time, because from 87, you know, they killed my cousin. I was in VR, because I got into some problems with some dudes. My man shot the dude in the mouth, so we thought the kid died. So, and then the kid thought I killed him, so I was like, I got to bounce something. I went to my country. I chilled out there. And I mean, for a while. Then I found out the kid, he died. You know, the bullet, his teeth stopped the bullet, you know what I mean? So I came back to New York, you know what I mean? And them dudes, they were looking for me for a while, but then they realized, real recognized real. They left that shit like that, you know what I mean? And shit started happening. I started getting too deep into shit. My name is ringing bells, and now my gun game is ridiculous. I got people mad, you know what I mean, and mad pressure, you know what I mean? The dudes that I thought had something to do with my cousin getting killed, I was like storing them and giving them mad heat, you know what I mean? And you know, shit got crazy in the hood one time. I worked for these Dominican dudes and shit, you know what I mean? I do a couple of things for them. One time, dude shot me in my leg the first time I get shot. And I'm like, oh wow, you know what I mean? I'm like going crazy the first time I get shot. So, I'm in the hospital. And I'm like, hold up, this motherfucker shot me, you know what I mean? So I said, let me go out. I said, I went out. Got my pistol, got my man, my other man. We went and got my cousin he had a little spots and some things. And he told me to go set him up, you know, we would go rob him or whatever. So we did that. We went and called him for that shit. So then we went and we got some guns. I went and rented a limo. I went to the people that shot me, you know what I mean? I went out, I came out. That day I was listening to a song, I could just kill him, man. Give me something you can't honor. That shit had me psyched. And plus I'm there, you know, I'm doing, you know, some things, making me hype. And I got out there, I came out of the limo. I'm thinking I'm king of New York, you know what I mean? I see homeboy outside, I'm like, yo, what's poppin'? And homie, he like, you see me? So he like, well, you want some more? And I want more, so I shot him or I shot him 3 times, I mean. And then my friend, the dude that was with me, started shooting everybody else, man. And the limousine just left me, and I lit my way out of there, you know what I mean? And thank God I got out of there. You know, it was crazy for a while, they were looking for me, whatever, you know what I mean? We had a war for a while. One time I ran into my father, it was early at 5 o'clock in the morning, he was like, son, please leave, these people are gonna kill you. That shit had me so upset, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna really kill these dudes and all that shit. And you know what I mean, I got slipped, you know, that day, I'm with my mom, they said, son, stay with me in the house, you let that look kind of sore, stay with me. I like, your mom, this is my leg, I don't give a fuck. I went out to a club, I'm dancing in the club. I'm supposed to get into some skins, but I'm like, so let me go check these dudes out, I owe me some bread. You know what I mean? I had a little, I couldn't really carry no guns because I was out on bail for shooting somebody, so I got to go up. So, you know, the police kept stopping me and searching me, so, but now, being I got shot, I got something that is like a gun, but it's not a gun. It's just like I'm frightened, like so. Just in case they run up on me, but I need to back them up or something. Right? That's not good. That wasn't a good idea, you know. I went up with homie when I seen the kid out. So I seen him and I seen like a lump in his back with his gun. But I was about to take it because that same week I took a few people's guns to try to. I don't know, man. God was been always with me. That's why I turned my life around. You know what I mean? Like, but anyway, the dude, I turned around for 1 minute, and he's like, and plus I have a face mask, so he can't see my facial expression, you know what I mean? But then I'm in my mind, he's probably thinking, man, this dude shot the boys last week. Imagine what he's gonna come do to me right now, you know what I mean? So I turned around for 1 minute. When I turned back around, He's like this. He's trembling though, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I see his eyes watery. He starts shooting me. Boom, boom.
Whoa.
Shot me in my neck this time, my shoulder right here, my side of my leg. I just fell. I just felt my body, pool of blood, you know what I mean? Like, I kept feeling getting wet, but I can't move, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, can somebody help me? And I hear some dude saying, oh, look at you now. You ain't that bad now, motherfucker. You know?
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? But at that moment, I figured my life was, I'm leaving. So I said, you know what? I said, Lord, forgive me.
Oh.
I'm too young to die. Please don't let me die. And a miracle, I'm here.
You're
I was
here.
3 hours and a half on the floor before the ambulance came.
Really?
They took me from Brooklyn, Bushwick to Bellevue.
Mm.
I was over there in a coma. Everybody that was in the room where I was at, I said, you died in my room. So everybody thought I was going to die. Over there, they opened up my neck to take the bullets out. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a rough journey ever since.
Yeah. Okay.
What I used to be, you know what I mean? Now I take my time and I use my past experiences to talk to the youth about guns and violence.
Yeah.
And the importance to listen to your parents and to believe that God is real, you know what I mean? Because God is real.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm living proof, you know?
Okay. And how's your social life now comparing to before the rehab center?
I mean,
Are your friends still around?
you know, a lot of my friends still around. They come see me once in a while, but everybody got their own life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got a new family now. I got new friends. And we go out, you know, we do our things, you know what I mean? Birthday, we go to our strip club, go to movies, you know, and that's the shape of the weather, you know what I mean? So, you know,
Yeah.
we try to stay fly, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you, what led you to have the life you had? Was it bad friends? Was it the bad company? What was
I can't say bad company. We just a product of my environment, you know what I mean? I was like I had different ethnic groups in my hood, like Jamaicans, and I took a little bit of everybody. You know, like I hang with the Jamaicans, I was like doing Jamaicans. But then, you know what I mean? It was crazy. I was a trouble kid, you know. I had like a lot of psychological problems, you know what I mean? But I'm good now, you know what I mean? I'm real good. You know what I mean? I've learned from my mistakes. You know, I was a completely different person. I'm different now, and it's what it is, man. I'm glad to be alive, you know?
Yeah. And do you have any family of your own, kids, wife?
Yeah, I have a son.
Okay. How old is he?
He's big now, he's like 28 years old.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. And growing up, you wanted to become a percussionist?
Yeah,
Who inspired you?
My dad. My dad is one of the three best drum players in the world, the body players. And he was crazy. When I used to go on stage, I see people go crazy with. I want to be that, you know what I mean? I like that. You know what I mean? Everybody got those skills. Now I'm doing a different thing. I'm rapping now. I'm doing my own thing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you earned spots in the All-City Orchestra and entrance to the Gifted and Talented program of Erasmus Hall High. How was that experience for you?
That was good. It was good over there. I mean, it was all right. The only thing that school was in the rough neighborhood, also was in Flatbush. And one of the kids, he see me coming taking the train every day. So I guess he thought he was about to clown me or something. I'm walking in the stairs, he's like, oh, you saw you from Bushwick. You saw you. So, you know what I mean? He got me to the point, like, I'm mad. I just turned around and I knocked him out, you know what I mean? And he had glasses, and unfortunately, one of the glasses went in his eye.
Oh.
And, you know, I got arrested for that, you know what I mean? They dropped the charges eventually.
How old were you?
I was like 15.
15?
Yeah.
Really? Very young.
And, you know, after that, you know, I had no choice but to change school. Then I went to my own school, Bushwick. And once I got there, it was all like popcorn, you know what I mean? It was like, that was the start of everything. That's where the legend begins, you know what I mean?
What happened? Why do you say that?
It was crazy. It was like, I had the security guards doing stuff for me. You know what I mean? I had the whole school locked down. I had the crew, the Decepticons, those were my people that were running everything. I had a lot of Dominicans in there, and they all had jewelry, man. But since I was getting, you know, I was a dude that I knew everybody, and people I had my respect there. So, all of them used to give me their chains and stuff. So I could hold it until after school, so I don't get robbed. So it was crazy. I be walking around looking like Mr. T.
Mr. T.
It was crazy. And we used to have these hooky parties. It was crazy. And then the parties in the neighborhood, I was used to do, I guess I like the attention, I like to blow my gun. Every party I went to, I used to always shoot up. And I was told the next day, oh, T shot the party up. So I went to the party and my friend be like, yo, T, please, man, let us dance one more song. You know what I mean? Don't shoot love you, you know. It's crazy, man. I think about the dumb, stupid things I used to do when I was younger.
Yeah.
Amazing, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm alive to talk about it, so
Yeah.
what it is,
Exactly. You rap. Who inspires you the most? And when you're rapping, what's your biggest focus?
I focus on letting people know how I feel, let them know what's on my mind, you feel me? And let me join the music at the same time, you know what I mean?
Okay. When you got shot, what was going through your mind?
What went through my mind?
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, I was trying, I was, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was like really pleading my life to God, like, please forgive me, you know? I give me another chance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he did, man, you know what I mean? He really did.
Yeah.
Other people get shot one time and die. I got
Yeah.
shot 7 times.
Exactly. And
with a
you're here
9
talking to
millimeter,
me.
close range.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Look at my neck.
Yeah.
Who gets shot in their neck and survive? Nobody.
Yeah.
It's crazy, you know what I mean? So I know I'm a miracle, baby. You know?
Exactly. And how do you use your experiences now?
Like I tell you, like all the things, you know, I talk to kids about things I did, let them know that, you know what I mean, there's better ways, the better. Just because you go in the jungle, you don't gotta act like an animal, you know what I mean? You just change, you know what I mean? Change your body, get involved with things.
Yeah.
Don't be, you know what I mean? Leave that shit alone, man. We here to help elevate each other, help each other, you know what I mean? When you know, you have a dispute with somebody, try to figure out, you know, a decent way to, you know what I mean, without having to go to the guns.
Yeah.
But now, back in the day, it's a knuckle game, you know, shoot a fair one. Shit, but this shit elevated, you know what I mean, with the guns and all this crazy.
Yeah.
It's really like, you know, a shame.
Okay. And you're a member of the Open Doors. Tell me
Open
about
doors,
that. Yeah.
Open
So what do you guys
movement,
do?
baby, for fact, reality push, you know what I'm saying? For real.
Okay, tell me about that. What do you guys do?
It's like that's one of the best things that happened in my life. We like making shit happen. We're doing poetry. You know, working on an album right now. I have a podcast out there. Got a couple of jump over on SoundCloud. And you know, I'm only just like it's real, making you know, genuinely in the crew to make it happen for us. You know, made big dreams come true. You know what I mean? I see big things happening. You know what I mean? Working on a play.
Yeah.
We're about to drop a book too. So
what's the book called?
well, the book we're working on. We got right now that we're debating on the name.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool. The real. Yeah, I believe it's the realness.
The realness.
Yeah, the realness.
Wheeling and healing in New
York.
York City, or
That's what it is. That's what that, you know what I mean? The realness,
Okay.
wheeling and healing.
Yeah.
So for now, you know what I mean. We're gonna roll with that.
Okay.
But it's an interesting book. People should go copy it because a lot of beautiful poems are there. And it's real jump or real experience, real things from life. You know what I mean? Real words from the soul. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's what's up.
You have big dreams. What's one of your biggest dreams?
That's one of my biggest dreams.
Yeah, right now.
Like, one of my biggest dreams to make, you know what I mean? Build an empire with my dude and shit, you know what I mean? Build an empire with my dude and do a music label, have artists and do something.
Tito, what's your advice for men who are of the same race as you, especially now with Trump in the house?
To be easy out there. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up with this bullshit, you know what I mean? I leave it to the man that's like, and stand up there, you just go by do things the right way, you know what I mean? Everything could be done, you gotta know how to do it.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble, do the right thing, you know what I mean?
And what would you do different if you had to go back to the past? Would you change anything?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd be more close to my family if I spend more time with my side. Be a family man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
And also the mural behind you, it's amazing. I think it's really great with what you guys did, you and your group. What does it mean to you? What does it stand for?
I mean, basically, the message is there. It's simple. Guns leads to guns. You shoot people. Leads to paralyze. You be in a paralyzed. You be in the graveyard. You know what I mean? Or in jail.
Yeah.
The message is simple. You play with guns, things happen. People get hurt. You gotta deal with the consequences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you pull the trigger, you can't take a bullet back.
And you guys recently lost Suluk and Sami. Is there anything you'd like to tell them?
Or Salute and Sammy that we're gonna do it up just for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
life, I mean, the world doesn't end, and that world ends when you die. But I'm gonna make sure their name is gonna live forever because they meant a lot to us. That's my brother from the heart side. Salute, brother, man. God bless them. Let them rest in peace. And, we're doing this for them, man.
Okay. Thank you so much.